Good afternoon, I guess, barely. It's April 21st. As you can see, I'm starting from somewhere different. I'm in, I think it's called Legacy Tower. It's an apartment building. I was just, had a meeting with somebody here. So I'm in their lobby, and I wouldn't normally show it, except this lobby, there's a version of it in my upcoming book, Fireboy, which uses a version of this lobby from the last time I was in this building. Although when I was here last, it had a very 70s feel to it. Now, as you can see, I'm just walking downtown, but as you can see, it's snowing. Snowed quite a bit. It's still above freezing, so it's mostly just wet, melting on the roads, and collecting a little bit here and there. But I'm going to be fairly wet by the time I get downtown, unless I put up an umbrella. I do have an umbrella. Maybe I should do that. Hold on, see if I can get at it. And of course, it's in the country side. Look. Well, maybe I'll just suffer with it being wet. I don't think I can get at that umbrella. Well, maybe I can find it. Here, we'll go up to the church here. See if I can get out of the rain enough, out of the snow enough to get out the umbrella. Let's see, in this compartment, I should have done this while I was still inside, obviously. All right, here's the umbrella. Now I got to close up my computer bag, get it back over my top of my head. Adjust the microphone, which is wandering around there. Oops. Apparently adjust this, which is also wandering around. Isn't this fun? Are we having fun yet? I dropped my glove. Got my glove. Let's get the umbrella open, and then we'll finally be ready to start walking downtown. Okay, there's the umbrella, as you can see. Sure, it's focused in the distance here, and not on the umbrella. Get my glove back on. And now we're really walking. You'll see a little bit of the umbrella there, but this will keep keep me from getting quite so wet, and will keep the snow off of the lens of the camera as well, of course. This is a very windy corner if the wind's blowing at all, which it is, so I've got to keep the umbrella turned into it. It doesn't pop open. It's not exactly unusual in Saskatchewan to have April snow, or even May snow. The difference is this time of year it doesn't last. Even if we have more than this, and it got really white, and parts of the province I think got 10 to 20 centimeters. We're on the fringe of it. It doesn't last. You can see it's been so warm that the streets are warm and the sidewalks are warm. It's melting as soon as it hits the ground. And it's going to be plus 16 or 17 by the end of the week, so this is a very short-lived reminder Winter just passed. Here it is nonetheless. I think it's pretty good to cross here. Snowstorms may come your way. They bring the flowers that bloom in May. So if it's snowing, have no regrets. Because it isn't snowing snow, you know, it's snowing violets. Not that we get violets around here, but I don't think. So there's the Saskatchewan Museum over there. We'll start along College today since I crossed with reasonable alacrity. Shaded places and on grass, it's accumulated. Anywhere there's something dark, pavement, it's melted as it hits. And it's not cold enough to be icy, so it's not a huge problem. It's basically a rainstorm, it just happens to be frozen. Which I suppose is true of every snowstorm. I think we'll go one more this time. Sometimes I go down here, but trying to vary my path. This old house is offices now, has Regina Symphony Orchestra offices in there. Very nice house for it as a house, I'm sure. Must have all been houses along here at one point over the years. Other things have popped up. Here, let's go this way. Step into the alley. Said the spider to the fly. Watch your step. Not that alleys are necessarily pretty, but they have character, I guess. I'm hoping the snow stops before I walk home in 3 or 4 hours. Probably 3 hours. Actually, it's been longer than 3 hours. What do I gotta do when I get there? I'm gonna write. Darn it. While I was driving home from Saskatoon last week, I was up there for a Sask Books meeting. I dictated notes to myself about my current novel, which I'd been struggling with a little bit. I needed to think through some things. So I did that. And so it's kind of stream of consciousness. And then I had Grok summarize it for me. And got some good notes to work from. So I think I may be ready to really double down and get this book finished in the next month or so, maybe, first draft. It's my fantasy novel, The Fifth Magic. There's the police over there. I don't know why they're sitting there. James, skincare. I suppose you can see big houses that still look like houses are actually businesses now. Through here. I had an interview this morning for a podcast. Not my podcast, I was being interviewed by somebody else's podcast. Mainly talking about Shapers of Worlds, Volume 5, the final anthology that I kickstarted featuring authors who were guests of my podcast, World Shapers, and came out in March. Fireside Beastro, I like to go here occasionally. Hello. Yeah, well, I haven't really gone anywhere. It's just that my walking is sporadic because of all the other things I'm doing. And of course, I was strongly tempted not to walk today, what with this, but I decided I would come on out. I'll try to be a little better. I keep saying that and then not doing it, but I would like to work my way back to more like what I used to do, which was often an hour a day, or at least longer than these short walks. But I tend to, well, I am actually, so this is a short walk. By the time I walk back the other way, it'll be 45 minutes at least. So in a way, I'm doing the walking, I'm just not live streaming it all the time. And I like to double up walks with actual errands I have to do as a way of use of time more efficient. If you look down the road, that's when you can get a sense of the snow better. This place has a plaque. It's the Williamson Apartments, constructed in 1912. And then added to in 1925, I think it said. So, of course, with pre-air conditioning buildings, you always had to have a kind of an indentation like this so that no matter which side of the building you were on, you could have a window that opened to the outside air. Alley, complete with somebody dumpster diving halfway down. I won't go that way. Yes, the sidewalk's closed ahead because they're building Ronald McDonald House on the next corner, which at the moment is just a big hole, but eventually will be Ronald McDonald House. It's been an empty lot for a long, long time. When I first moved here, there was a popular restaurant there that I remember eating lunch at, but it's been gone for a long time. Wolf Manor. Across the street because I have to at some point. Another old house that may or may not still be an old house. It's hard to tell. It doesn't have a business sign on it. Apartment buildings, probably from the 50s or 60s. There's this distinctive wall, but apparently they have trouble with the globes. That one's missing, and they're not all around. This is Graceland. We're going to Graceland. Graceland. Memphis, Tennessee. This is not that Graceland. Older apartment building over there. This is an office building, I believe, not an apartment building. It seems to have any business signs on it. How's that look? Scarf, I do Cornwall, district of Cornwall. Bruce out for a walk. I'd say he's a long way from the water, but right now there is no place that's a long way from the water because the water is everywhere. You don't very often see them downtown, but nothing's stopping them, obviously. Feet are wet. I should have worn my boots, but oh well. It's not cold enough that I'm going to be too uncomfortable. Two more blocks, basically. This is Cornwall Village, 50-plus seniors housing co-op. I often comment on this one because of the spiral fire escape in front, which is kind of a unique feature on the front of a building. Clearly an older built. What's it actually called? It's called Cornwall Court. Well, we're in Cornwall, so that makes sense. Level of street. Over there. No longer where you give blood, that's a separate thing. Canadian Blood Services has been for a long time, since the tainted blood scandal of the 90s, I guess, 80s, 90s. Definitely a little on the flip side. Across the building. There's lawyers in there. It's an interesting building in its way. My favorite organization name, Saskatchewan Seniors Mechanism. It's odd to see an organization called a mechanism, and then the Admin Center for Sport, Culture and Recreation. I get a lot of things printed here, or have over the years. Various organizations I've done posters for. That's usually where they're printed. Like West Canada Voices, the one I currently do posters for. I did stuff for Regina Art Musical Theatre for many years, but they went with a standardized look, and then they didn't need me anymore. And I've done others. And here's the hotel, so look at all the moist air. Must be running the laundry. Victoria Park, directly across from us, the Cenotaph, City Hall, Knox Metropolitan United Church. Down that way, Federal Building, Woodward Tower, all that stuff that I've shown many times. And here in the shade, lots of snow piling up. Well, not really piling up, but at least not melting fast enough to disappear entirely. Hotel Saskatchewan. Oops. I'll wait till I'm under the overhang before I stop today. Out of the snow while I take things down. Didn't keep it entirely dry, but certainly drier than if I hadn't had the umbrella. Oh, right. I should stop. I thought I'd stop, but instead I was just taking things down. Okay, that's it for now. Goodbye.